Learning from the textbook is so hard. If only there was another way.
Cell Food is a game in which users can learn about biomolecules such as glucose, proteins, nucleic acids, and lipids. We know how boring learning from textbooks can be. Cell Food creates a balance between having fun and learning. This game helps you review the important and basic concepts of biomolecules. This game is aimed toward high school freshmen or any student taking a beginner-level biology course. Click to enter the game. The basic controls of this game are using your arrow keys to move your avatar in order to collect the necessary molecules to create the necessary biomolecules to go to the next level. The feedback in this game is as you go over molecules, they disappear and the number of the molecules accumulate in your inventory panel. Throughout discussion with many of our mentors, many said that we should draw our molecules, which we did, because before we were using images from Google. In addition, our mentor said to increase the font size so users could see it better and made it more prominent. In order to go to the next level, I need 1 lipid, 1 glucose, and 1 protein. In order to make a glucose, you need 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen, and 1 oxygen. As you can see, I have 2 hydrogen right now, so I need 1 more oxygen and 1 more carbon. You lose ATP in this game by going over biomolecules that you don't need or going over sulfur, which is negative 10 ATP. You increase ATP by creating glucose molecules to get you 36 ATP or going over sun icons. Every time you create a biomolecule, a window dialog comes up saying specific facts about different biomolecules. In addition, our mentor said to make a help panel so the users knew how to make each of the biomolecules. Many of the users that evaluated our game said this was a very motivational game as it provided constant feedback as to whether you went over a molecule and whether you made a biomolecule. As you can see, I've reached level 2, so my timer increased by 90 seconds, another feedback mechanism. When the timer runs out, a pop-up dialog window comes out saying, "Sorry, you ran out of time, please try again." The molecules shown in the game are presented by random number generators that determine the x-coordinate, the y-coordinate, and the molecule type that will be drawn. Each time the random number generator comes up with a random number, it gets saved into an array to the corresponding number that it represents. This occurs in a loop until the entire array is filled with randomly generated integer numbers. The molecule type is determined through a random number generator between 1 and 7, and each of the numbers correspond to a particular molecule. In addition, every time the user presses an arrow key to move the avatar, the key press method calls the overlap method that runs on a loop. The loop goes through the array and saves the molecule at the particular index that it's at. X molecule for the x-coordinate array, y molecule for the y-coordinate array, and molecule type for the molecule T array. It then compares those saved numbers with the coordinates that your avatar is currently at in order to determine if there's any overlap.
InfoPanel is a class that's responsible for displaying the definitions of biomolecules onto a pop-out dialog screen after the user has created the biomolecule. This class uses 3 methods called blocks, get input, and read and write. The booleans made glucose 2, made lipid 2, made protein 2 will turn true when they are made so that the system recognizes that a biomolecule has been created, and then calls the method read and write. The method read and write scans through the text file called information.txt, which is here, and looks for the needed text. The scanner named scan1 will scan through each current line and save it, and if the current line equals item and the name of the molecule, it will save it and go to the next line until it reaches the needed information. Then it will save it in a public static variable called needed and call infopop, which is the pop-out dialog class. Infopop.java is a class that's called from infopanel.java, and it forms a new JFrame called frame. Infopop takes a string called needed from the infopanel class and implements it in the dialog window that pops out whenever the user makes a molecule. In the method runnable, which is right here, there is another method called run, which forms a JOption pane that will display the information and provide a button that says OK. The text is displayed on a JLabel and the text is wrapped using HTML. That way the longer paragraphs containing the definitions for certain biomolecules will fit into the screen of the computer.
I think Cell Food is a really fun and educational game. Anyone who's interested in biology should give this game a try.